Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you'll be watching this video. It's your friend again, Ofure Corner. Please, if you're new to this channel, do me well to hit the subscription button, turn on your notification bells in case I drop more videos, and give the video a thumbs up, please. And if you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate, thank you. Today, I'm bringing to you the exclusive interview with Mama Funke Felix Adejumo. The interview she had with Pastor Jerry-Eze's wife, which is Pastor Eno Jerry, and the Winlos. They talked about, they gave us details about their marriages, what transpired at the beginning of their marriages, how they were able to overcome what they were seeing and all. It's a lot to learn from this video. It's a lot to learn from this interview. A lot. 1,001 things to learn. Because some persons go into marriage with the mindset of it's a bed of roses. It's never a bed of roses. There's always these ups and downs, especially at the beginning of marriages. Anyway, I'm just going to drop this video and you all will have one or two things to learn from it. You all will see what it entails to have a good marriage. It comes with a lot of endurance, tolerance, patience, perseverance. It really came with a lot of it. And you know the beautiful part of this interview or the story of these women of God, which is Pastor Eno Jerry and Minister Anwule Ois. The beautiful part of it is that these women, they are doing mind-blowing things in the ministry now. Mind-blowing things. They are moving the name of the Lord to places. So it's a beautiful one. It was tough, it was rough at the beginning of their marriages, but today I think it's a beautiful one because we all are partakers of what God has turned them into and using them to do in this time, age, and day. Anyway, without bugging you, I'm just going to drop the video for you to watch. Until I come your way next time, bye for now.
So imagine me getting married with all the books I have read about romance and romantic, so thinking that it is all bed of roses and whatever. I now enter marriage. We got married. Do you know that the next day he had a ministration? The next day we got married. Saturday, Sunday. We did not do honeymoon. Which honeymoon? Which honey? Which moon? There was no moon to go to the honey or the honey to meet the moon. The next day, so see the shock. The next day, we had a ministration, and it was with core members. This program he was doing then called Blind Facts, like to core members or whichever crowd, and it was usually on real life things, as in what people have gone through, real life experiences. People will tell you things they have done that are bad and how God has helped them, so you learn from the experiences. So that's what we went to do that day. After we finished doing that, we came back. That week he had a program in because he was working at this time in I think he was working with, was it UNN? United Nations, UN at the time. I think it was UN. Yes, he was working with United Nations at the time. So he had a program in Abuja. So he said, okay, follow me, let's go to Abuja. So at least, because I wasn't doing anything at the time. So I followed him. I had just finished 7. I followed him. And that day, he left me in the hotel from morning till night. He did not call me. He did not ask if I would eat food. What? Nothing. He just abandoned me. Then imagine the woman in me. Oh, Jesus. The woman in me. I sat down in that hotel and I was fuming. Boiling. I had a whole day to boil. So I boiled. Nobody to talk to, just boiling, waiting for him to come back. So you can imagine an angry person as I did what I gave him that day. Oh God. As he entered, I don't even know if I greeted him that day. As he entered, from my face, you already know that there's trouble. Fire on the mountain. And I started. The thing is that angry people, most times we don't remember what we see. We will finish doing it. Our memory is short. We have short memory. Angry people have short memory. It is the people that you hurt that will tell you what you have done. You won't remember what you have done. So if I tell you that I can remember what I did that day, I cannot remember. He's the one that used to remind me. So I went on, I talked and talked and talked, and trying to, he'll be the one trying. See, the way my husband looks calm. Even now, he's even high. If you saw him in those early days, very quiet, very quiet. So, and me, I was the Ajabra one, the one that was everywhere. So, he'll be trying to calm me. I refuse to be calm. And I tell you, Mama, my husband used to cry because of me. He would start, as in that day, he was just, he couldn't do any other thing. It was when he started crying, and I discovered, hey, what have I said? Which one did I now say? Because in my mind, I have not even said anything yet. Remember, I came from a place where they used to box. So we are not boxing. The only time there's a problem is when
is Jerry watching? Pastor J.
The only time there's a problem is when, so when he's telling you, I'm like, okay, because voices are going up. He doesn't like raised voice. So but me, raising voice we are just starting. It's only when you start sitting that you know that you have, but just talking and shouting is okay. It's normal, because I didn't see my parents talk quietly. It's everybody is, so it's only when he starts crying that I just discover, oh, okay, I have done the one I'm not supposed to do. I started begging him. But you see, the problem with these things that I used to get him to that extreme, and to get him out was always difficult. So, and there's something he used to tell me then. He used to tell me, I'm not a light bulb that you switch on and switch off at will. So I started this journey with him, and he was the one that started pointing out things about me that was not working. I was very disrespectful. I was, like I told you, I was an angry person. I was disrespectful. I was a bitter person. Bitter as in bitter. I didn't even know I was bitter. He's the one that made me even know I was a bitter person. So, things can happen. I don't talk about it, but it's as if it's locked up somewhere inside of me. And, bitterness, I usually will say, even in my book, I say bitterness is the elder brother of anger. It's the elder brother to anger, because it starts with anger, then it graduates to bitterness. So if you don't deal with anger, it will graduate eventually to bitterness. So that was just, where I was, that space. And I was very opinionated. Very opinionated. Once I make my stand on this, you can't move me. There's nothing to tell me that will move me from that point. Whatever I say, that's where I stand. I was highly independent, very independent. So I had always been that independent kind of person, and I carried it into my relationship and into my marriage. So it also started having that negative effect because I was independent. I end up doing things without even talking about it, because I can do it. So I just go and do things and I don't talk about it. And that kind of self-sufficient kind of person. So, but the one that really got my marriage, shaky was this anger, because my husband was everyone must learn how to control their emotions. My emotions controlled me, and that's why in my book I talked about managing your emotions. You must be in control of your emotions and not the other way around. So my emotions used to control me. So it's as if anything my emotion tells me to do, I'll do. And our emotions tells us a lot of lies. Our emotions are not truthful. It tells us a lot of lies. So you can't even trust. I have learned not to trust my emotions, because my emotions are feelings. They are feelings. So I've learned not to trust my feelings. Most times feelings they don't tell you the truth, So that was one thing that, put so much strain in our marriage. And I know he has told me times that I have even broken plates. I can't even remember breaking plates. And that's why I say angry people don't even remember what they do. Do you know that there was a time he came to see me in London, because we got married in 2007, March 2007, and I left the country by June 2007 to go and do my master's. So, and I was away from 2007 till 2011. That's when I came back to Nigeria. So this period, it's either I'm coming back or he's the one coming over to see me. And like the stories he would tell, he told stories of times that, he'll want to pray with me, like we'll be praying. And after maybe we'll finish praying, I will tell him, Mommy, if I tell you this one, you'll be embarrassed for me. He said, as we finish, me and him will finish praying, and I tell him that after saying him, I tell you, see, next time, make the prayer shorter. It was too long. Can you imagine? How? Me that is praying the way I'm praying.
I know, I love you. I love you too much. Reverend Jerry. Oh.
So, he said, you can imagine the shock. After thinking you finish having a heartfelt prayer with your wife now said the next time, make it short. It was too long, Oh, God. I stressed him. I will bang the door at him. He'll be talking to me. If I can't take it again, I will stand up. I'll close I'll just and walk out on him. Oh, I did some terrible things. I did some terrible things that at some point I just discovered I was losing my husband. And one of the ways I knew I was losing my husband was like, there's this light that will always come to his eyes whenever he used to see me. Then I just noticed that he just left. Whether you're there or not there, it wasn't important anymore to him. So, and the beautiful thing about my husband was that he never told anybody these things that was happening. It was just between two of us. But if there's anything he kept doing, is that he kept talking to me when I could listen, really trying on our marriage. But my major turning point was when my relationship with God really got, stronger and more serious. That was when, like the Holy Spirit begins to show you and make you understand the things you're doing and how it's impacting negatively on your marriage.
So I think that my wife and I had our own, we will call it our own illumination season, so to speak. So, I mean, if you read her book, I Almost Ruined My Marriage, so she needed to see the pastor in me, not necessarily her husband, during those teething and very turbulent times, So, and I didn't realize why God was causing me to, to be in that place of being molded by her actions, right? Being a true Christian, by her. So, I mean, things were not going too well, and I still was in that place where I was trying to be the great, spouse, be the very, So, when she came full circle, she realized that, what? Beyond even this supernatural, beyond this manifestation, this man is a true Christian.
Myself and my wife, that's when we got married. Issues. I never changed my confession. Issues. I didn't know where the issues were coming from. We were Christians. I was a pastor. I'm telling you. She was Mommy Gio. We will have issue and come to church. We'll sit down together. I'll bend my eye like this. You bend my eye like this. People look at, oh, power couple. If I tell my wife, what my sister is wearing is blue, my wife will say, for what? It's red. She always wanted to go the opposite of everything. Sweet, we are not going to pack out of this house. Let us stay here. That's when she say, we'll pack out. If I say, sweet, let's close that door. Armed robber is coming. Say, no, open it. Anything I say, she wanted the opposite. We kept having issues. We did not know peace for a long while.
Yeah, because when I married my wife, I had that issue. I thought she was a witch. No, on a very serious, I thought she was a witch. I thought I made a mistake.
Then I started praying. Of course, I diagnosed the problem. Even when I brought it to her, I said, sweet, these are patterns. The same thing that fought your family wants to, don't say that, you say my family. I began to pray for her in her closet. I never one day raised my hands on my wife. Or even threaten her that if I slap you, I went on my knees. She will treat me anyhow. That story she was telling, it was true. I was preparing for service on the Wednesday service. I was jacking the word. She came to me and said, sweet, I want to talk to you now. That's how she talks to me. That time. I want to talk to you now. I said, sweet, it's almost 2 hours to service. I'm trying to prepare. I said, I want to talk to you now. With a small body, oh. Now. I said, sweet, please. After he said, see, you are going to choose between the word of God or me. I said, sweet. Before I said, she just kicked the Bible, kicked everything. I said, she has finished talking to me. I sat there and looked and said, God, what did I marry? What did I marry? When we were in courtship, everything was good. But the moment we got married, everything had let loose. The devil has crept in. Don't see your wife or your husband as the bad person. The bad person is the devil. Address the devil. Don't like, my wife is a witch. My husband is this. No, it's not your husband. It's not your wife. The devil has blinded their eyes. Pray that that veil be lifted up.